really don't know where to start. Having been given 48 hours to prepare and not really knowing very much about what I was going to say, I now feel that everything I'm going to say is irrelevant after having heard such fantastic speeches. Nonetheless, I'm bursting and I do want to speak, so bear with me. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Your Excellency, Ambassador Andrea Fontana, Ambassador of the European Union to Jordan, Mr. Ahmed al-Sheikh, Senior Vice President and General Manager of PepsiCo Egypt and Jordan, Mr. Ahmed al-Hindawi. I'm a bit shorter than all of you, so I don't know if you can see me. UN Secretary General, it's okay. Envoy for Youth, and Dr. Tariq Youssef, the Director of the Brookings Doha Center in Qatar. Thank you so much for your wonderful remarks. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is my very great pleasure to welcome you to the AMWAJ Forum 2016. Now is a critical time for our region. Sustainability increasingly isn't just an abstract word for us. It isn't about things that might be a problem in some vague, far-off future. It's about things that are happening now. Here in the Levant, we are facing, according to NASA, what is probably the worst drought in 900 years. Increases in the cost of water ruin farmers and hobble industrial development. Increases in the cost of bread have been implicated by some in revolutions. Rubbish clogs our streets. Acidifying ocean water threatens to kill our beautiful seas. And even the Dead Sea, which is at least already dead, is slowly disappearing. As my father, His Royal Highness Prince Hassan bin Talal, once said, solving our region's environmental problems requires catalytic change at multiple levels across interrelated sectors. Well, I look out before me today and I see interrelated sectors, to be sure. Leaders in public life, in private industry, in academia, media, environmental and social NGOs. So what about the catalytic change? The Oxford English Dictionary defines a catalyst as a substance that increases the rate of a chemical reaction without itself undergoing any permanent chemical change, or as a person or thing that precipitates an event. As bad as our problems are, both here in Jordan and in our region as a whole, there is reason for optimism. Because yes, they may be bad, but equally, never have we been in a better position to solve them. No one can deny that the West Asia North Africa region, WANA, is rich in scientific knowledge. Just one figure. Today, we have over 136,000 registered engineers in Jordan alone. That's equivalent to a city bigger than Aqaba. Imagine what that concentration of expertise could do if it was used to fill its potential. Likewise, no one can deny that the people of WANA are entrepreneurial. The idea that so-called developing countries lag behind developed countries because their people lack a spirit of enterprise couldn't be further from the truth. Just walk through any city centre here and notice so many people running their own businesses, from cutting-edge, blue-chip startups to the humblest falafel shop. The energy and resilience of people in this region is astounding. We have the answers in front of us. We probably have a lot of them in this very room. If we can only connect the region's spirit and will to work with its knowledge and know-how, we can solve these problems no matter how great. But all we need is a catalyst. That's why today is so important. The connections we can start to make here and can, I am sure, create the liftoff that will propel us to the sustainable, just, and prosperous society to which we all aspire. All we need, after all, for a runway reaction is that catalyst. I'm sure we all agree that the catalyst that we also need to be talking about, while so much has been said about entrepreneurship, is scientific and technological advancement, which is the key to sustainable and durable economic development, not only to Jordan, but the region. We also agree that this can only be gained through well-targeted research and development applications to support science and technology. This is our contribution to change in the Arab world, and it is but a small part of the necessary response to the chants of those who have called for change. I strongly believe that meetings such as these will pave the way for greater cooperation between all those different members of our society: public sector, private sector, academia, civil society, and industry. That cross-fertilization of ideas can be second to none. Indeed, no single organization, no matter how large or well-endowed, can address present and future challenges by itself. In this age of globalization and interdependence, forging cooperative alliances with like-minded institutions of research and academics around the world are not an option, but a necessity. Thus, such a meeting symbolizes a development of a partnership which we believe will lead to many new joint research initiatives that will produce new synergies and new opportunities. It is in this context that the transmission of knowledge is vital in balancing progress and counteracting fear in our world. It is the primary process in building a culture where science and innovation are respected above all biases and ideologies. In our Jordanian context, the transmission of knowledge is something that is being done under the inspiration of His Majesty King Abdullah, so that we may release our most precious resource, untapped human capital. The fact is, research in science and technology is vital to building a knowledge-based or an innovation-driven economy. The availability of highly qualified researchers is an essential requirement to foster innovation and to promote scientific and technological development. Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, we must grasp the opportunity to reach an unprecedented consensus to create a path for a vision towards long-term sustainability that is science-based, resilient, and universally applicable. Ideology, race, and religion are merely themes in an insignificant sideshow as the inexorable play of resource depletion, conflict, environmental mismanagement, and unequal distribution of opportunity unfolds before us. Our shared and committed vision for continued excellence is to invest even more resources to enrich knowledge and advance wide-ranging research efforts to meet these new challenges. Perhaps the key to our success is trusting that we all share a common agenda. Partnerships, as the one we are witnessing today, are a key part of building that trust. For we must dedicate ourselves to uniting all stakeholders with a common purpose, particularly those who may feel weak or marginalized in terms of capacity or perceived contribution to global science. We must remain constant in reminding all concerned that the current status quo will ultimately benefit no one. The three interlinked and immutable challenges of energy, food, and water pose unprecedented existential threats to all our people. I believe that these must be the constants on which science for peace is built. Indeed, this is the banner under which I won the bid for Jordan to host the World Science Forum in November of 2017. Other vested interests must concede that these are the core challenges that require immediate action and long-term planning. We must fight for a consensus and a roadmap for development in an environment of increasing global, social, and political dysfunctionality. The overarching issues of resource pressure must remain paramount, for our core challenges will not go away. We must be grateful in this regard for the foresightedness of Agenda 2030, and we must do all we can to make it work for our world. I am so proud to host the Wana Institute at the Royal Scientific Society, for both of our institutions have made one crucial step to strengthen strategic and innovative ties that will help bring both organizations to greater heights. I also look forward to exploring new ways to further enhance and develop this collaborative effort here at AMWAJ and joining hands with our colleagues to establish a strong and robust alliance for the common good of our societies. Dr. Tariq, you mentioned fighting for existence as societies. If I can quote the Brazilian saying that says societies are created by people who plant trees under whose shade they know they will not sit, I think today we are all creating societies. And finally, I must give heartfelt thanks to PepsiCo and to Revolve Water for bringing together the private and public sectors under the AMWAJ name to create so much important awareness about the sustainable resources that we must all use in terms of strengthening and driving positive change for our children and their children, inshallah. Thank you very much.